my, when your head's this close to mine, I feel fine, 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 fine. You're the flower that will never stay. When it's cold, you hide away. When you're gone, all the colors fade. Oh, they fade, fade to gray. You're my miracle, miracle. Beautiful, beautiful. Winter comes, I just lie in bed with your face frozen in my head, waiting for the warmth of spring. When the sun brings you back to me, you lie in the grass by the melting snow. What a place for our love to grow. Orange and yellow, shades of green. You look lovely in this scene. You're my miracle, miracle. Beautiful, beautiful. You're my miracle, miracle. I see you running. What are you running from? Oh girl, what you running from? I see you running. What are you running from? Oh girl, what you running from? Don't you know now? Miracle, miracle. Beautiful, beautiful. You're my miracle, miracle. Beautiful, beautiful. You're my miracle, miracle. Beautiful, beautiful. Where's your spirit, where's your mind, where's your heart and soul? Give it all, nothing's left, now it's out of control. Out of control. It's a fight to the death, better grab a hold or make it out with your life. Now you're good as gold, good as gold. You're fighting and searching out. You're looking for it, want something more. But when you find it, yeah, when you know it now, will it move you more than it ever moved this time? It keeps on pushing, pulling me around. To my heart and my soul, to the limit here. Moving past my doubt, moving past my fear. Past my fear. You can stop, take your time, try to get clear. But if you never move, then it's hard to steer. take the fall. You just take your time. Take your time. You have it all, or take the fall. You just take your time. Take your time. You could have it all, take the fall. You just take your time. Take your time. You could have it all, take the fall. You just take your time. Take your.
Welcome back to the local lunch hour. This episode is sponsored by the Blasting Room, which has been bringing recording services to Fort Collins since 1994. We just heard Marigold and Push and Pulled by Denver-based band Dream Feed, more specifically by Brian. Hello.
Hello, how's it going?
Pretty good. Will.
Hello.
Miguel.
Shalom.
And I missed one. Ryan.
Yeah.
Yay, we're all here. Hi.
Your name.
Good job. Oh, wow. Shots fired. Okay. Well, thanks for being here, guys.
Thank you.
So I'm just going to start off. Your band name is Dream Feed, and that refers to feeding babies when they're asleep. Can you guys explain how that correlates to your band name?
Yeah, definitely. So my wife had a daughter about
Congrats.
a year and a half ago, and it's the concept of nursing a child without waking the child up, and it's kind of that idea with us in life as adults is we often go through life not really being awake, kind of just staying in our corner and going through the motions of life, and just being fed and given whatever is given to us, not really taking anything, and it's kind of that idea that music and art can wake people up from that.
That's interesting. Yeah. I that's such an interesting idea because I feel like musicians are so much different than, or just because your job's so creative, you have such a different perspective to offer the world. So is there any goal you guys have with your music specifically, because of how creative your job is in nature?
I mean, personally, I like to make people think lyrically, and kind of step outside of themselves for a little bit to think about something in a way, in a perspective, like you're saying, that they haven't really before. So
nice.
Just make people feel more internally, externally, and everything between. Cross senses, visually, auditorily.
Nice.
Taste, smell.
We're kind of more like our highlight is our live band. Our live show is what people like our music when they hear it on the radio or when they hear recordings of us, but when they see us live, they can really feel it, because we do it different every time. Yeah. And it's
there's a lot of eye contact going on. You guys were smiling and looking at each other and just having a good time. We're just not
used to this environment, right? But,
oh, really? Is it too small for you? Sorry. Yeah. And the song you just played, Push and Pull, do you want to explain how that song came to be and a little bit of the meaning behind that?
Yeah, that was a pretty early song for the band. Actually, when we were still going by Miguel Dakota and the Difference a few years back. And I wrote that one just after I was on America's Got Talent, and
right.
just kind of about the ebbs and flows and the roller coaster ride that is life, and just how you can constantly feel pushed and pulled in different directions and from different people. And
By Simon Cowell.
yeah, right. So
I know,
it's
that's
just
crazy.
trying to like maintain your identity and your focus on your goals and things through all that.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up later, but yeah, you were on America's Got Talent, which is crazy, and you were in the finals, which is like literally so crazy. How was that like experience? And then wait, after you did that, you also like created a solo album.
Right.
Right.
So that, first of all, it was a pretty amazing, wild experience that is really hard to wrap your head around, I guess, especially when you're 20 years old and still figuring yourself out musically. And I had started jamming with Ryan like at the exact same time, pretty much, that all that was going on, like in the beginning stages of it, and then started jamming with Brian as well. After they moved back down, like Ryan had just graduated from CSU and moved back to Monument, where we're kind of the three of us were from. And it was just it was a wild experience, and just that first album was just based off of like maintaining that momentum. And so we put it out under my name, but
But Ryan was also involved.
yeah, Ryan and Brian
Brian
were both involved on
Nice.
that. And then Will came along while we were in Denver. We had to get good enough before Will could be in the band.
Ooh,
so.
he has standards.
Far better than
Really?
all of us.
I saw these guys at an old spot on Colfax. It was a wine bar, and they were
Laying down our best Sinatra.
playing without a bass player, and I was like, "What's going on right
Wait, did you know
now?"
them beforehand?
No, I was just
You were just jealous of the bass player.
I moved to Denver from Los Angeles / Phoenix in 2016, and I actually saw them performing at this wine bar on Colfax, and I was asking the guy I had a meeting with who owned the spot. I was like, who are these guys? Like, and why don't they have a bass player? And ironically, maybe a week or so after that, the guy hit me up and to fill in or to sub at the same wine bar. And I showed
really?
up, didn't know any of the music, pretty much never met these guys before, and I played. And then I subbed a couple more gigs after that, and then we quit playing around and made it official.
That's
And
awesome.
we asked you out.
So you just like fell in love with their sound, and
Well, yeah, Miguel has a really strong presence. His vocals like grab your attention, and then the songwriting got my attention as well. So, and they have good camaraderie and good chemistry together. So I felt like all they needed was that last final piece. So I've tried to put gasoline on it.
nice.
Since I wasn't in Monument, or I wasn't here for the start
Yeah.
of the band, or like that. So
Yeah,
And-
and he's been a phenomenal bassist since the first time we played with him. It was like he had been in the band for years when he was playing 100% improv, so he fit right in.
Nice. Yeah, you can like really see that you guys have a lot of chemistry, like just the way you guys perform and like.
Well, it wasn't always that way, Mia.
Really? Were there like any
Nah,
awkward?
for the most part,
Oh, okay.
It was pretty easy going. Ryan and I started writing the first time we played together. We wrote a song, and so we've always had really good writing chemistry. And then Brian's just his ability to listen is like, for a musician, the ability to listen is probably one of the highest praises you can receive.
Yeah.
Is if someone says you're a good listener, because it allows you to accent and create within the music space really well. And Brian's incredibly good at that on drums. And Will,
What'd you say?
and
Zoned out.
Will just added another writing and phenomenal musicianship piece to the band. So I think the song that we're gonna play next is actually one that he brought to the table, and it's called Straight Lines. So
Nice. Well, since you brought it up, let's just get right to it. Coming up now is Straight Lines by Dreamfeed.
sounds repeat, distant songs of passing dreams. Lines to make on a page of fame, become the map that others grab in times of doubt. Lines we drew are becoming who we are right now. Lead us down the path marked out. Yes, we're moving now. I've been taking too much time trying to go the straightest line.
Trying on your own, you'll find you will never draw it right.
I've been staying up at night looking for a distant line.
You never see it on your own. You need someone to guide you home.
Friends and I, we're tired, working our hands down to the bone. Pay it back to rent, like travelers without a home. Oh, the line to make on the page of fame, from the map that others grab in times of doubt. Down the path marked out. Yes, I'm moving now. I've been taking too much time trying to draw the straightest line.
Trying on your own, you'll find you will never draw it right.
I've been staying up at night looking for a distant line.
Never see it on your own. You need someone to guide you home.
Promised land, the desert lies between here and there. We lead each other on to a glory we can share. I broke your heart and I hear the proof. I wanna love you like you love me, but I let my mind get in between it. I didn't know how to love you. I know now. my heart had lost me. I was the love that was golden. Hold on a heart that was stolen. I never thought what it cost me. I wish my heart hadn't lost me now. I know now I didn't know how to love you. Oh, somehow put someone above you.
Welcome back to the local lunch hour. This episode is sponsored by The Blaster Room. Visit theblasterroom.com for more information on their recording, mixing, and mastering services. We just heard 2 songs by Dream Feed. The first was Straight Lines, and the second was Hearts. And your debut album that came out in 2018, it had like a lot of variety sonically. Like Marigold was kind of slower, and then like Finding Soul is like super high energy. Does that variety just come from like the different backgrounds you guys have as musicians for the most part?
That definitely plays into it for sure. I kind of come from a real like bluesy southern sound. I grew up in Fort Walton Beach, Florida, and like was going to Jazz Fest since I was an infant. So that kind of vibe, and a little bit of classic rock thrown in there, and then everybody kind of has their own thing that they come from.
Yeah, I'm a indie rock guy. Indie rock dude.
Nice.
Very like more like melodically based as far as lyrics go, instead of like listening to lyrics, where Miguel is more word based. But actually, I don't know. Whatever. But yeah, very indie rock, washed out vocals, you know.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
You know.
I know. And then Will, you're like, what kind of influences?
So I grew up a jazz musician. My father plays upright bass and piano, and my mother is a music educator. So she taught woodwinds to elementary and middle school. So I had a good, vast, different plethora of influences. But I grew up a jazz guy mainly, but then when I started playing music professionally, I got sucked into a whole bunch of different genres and a whole bunch of different situations. So I'm kind of a
because this music's not like super jazzy.
No,
but like
it's
I can
not
see the
jazzy at
influence,
all.
but yeah, I don't know.
Could be.
Could be.
But for some reason, I've always been in an alternative or a rock band. In every aspect of my life, or one time in my life, or one band, one project I'm doing is always an alternative rock band for some reason. So, yeah.
I mean, it works.
Yeah, I love it.
And Brian?
Yeah, my influences, I guess, I don't know, I was brought up on classic rock, so that's a huge influence. When I started playing drums, I was more into, I guess, like punk, harder rock, driving rock. So
interesting. Again, not
kind
really
of drumming
this
that makes
band.
you sweat.
Yeah.
That was my thing. But I'm into all kinds of things now, and it's great playing with these guys because they all bring in their own style and kind of makes our own sound. So
Nice. And Ryan, you are in a solo project too right now, right? Like RS, or what is it called? RWJ? Is that correct?
RJW.
Yeah, RJW.
Almost,
Lips.
yeah.
That's
But I've been.
What kind
I started doing like the bedroom producer stuff when I was living here in Fort Collins, my sophomore year. What was the first? I think I got a free trial of Logic, and then kind of blossomed from there. I use Ableton Live, and it's more of like electro indie pop
I was gonna say.
stuff. Have you checked it out at all?
Yeah, I have.
Nice,
Yep.
cool.
I was gonna say it's not very rock, but like, is that just because you want to like explore a different area of music?
Yeah,
Kinda why you started that?
I write all the time, and there's a balance of like, oh, this song should go to Dream Feed, or this,
Oh, nice.
or I'm keeping this one. So, or just like sonically, it's like I don't see it working with Dream Feed, so
Yeah.
I
So then you
just tend to.
Nice. And do you guys
Together.
all write the songs together, or do certain people write like certain
Yeah,
songs?
a lot of it happens together.
Okay. Nice.
And yeah, we all kind of have solo things as well. Will plays. He has a brother who is also an amazing musician, plays piano, and they got a project called Gaines Brothers.
Cool.
Gaines Brothers.
It's more like kind of hip hop R&B with like the jazz influence, but yeah, we
So
all
that-
kind of
yeah.
just bring different stuff to the table. I know I brought straight lines to the table, and I had a certain idea in my head, and once they got a hold of it, it turned into like something totally different, which was beautiful.
So you came up with like the lyrics and then or the sound.
No, he does all the lyrics. I came
Oh,
up with the
nice.
the lead line and the changes and some
Okay.
of the transitions.
Yeah,
but-
musically, it's yeah, that was
Yeah, but
Will's.
he took it and wrote all those are all Miguel's lyrics. But that's the beautiful thing about writing. Like you can bring an idea and you can think it's gonna go a certain way, and then it'll take a turn, and then once everyone gets a hold of it, you know.
Yeah. Do you ever like get attached to songs and then bring it to the table and then they just like dissolve? Does that ever like hurt anyone, or are you guys like prepared for it to change?
I think it's usually a good thing.
Yeah. When it
for the most
changes.
part. Like Ryan had brought Marigold to the table. He like musically and the melody, the main melody of the chorus, and then I kind of tweaked it a little bit. Like I kind of used like the basis of lyrics he had, and I wrote it about one of his relationships.
Oh, really? That's so interesting.
So I just found out.
Wait, you really just found that out?
No,
Okay.
like a few months ago though, I didn't know.
Yeah. Wait, how was that? You were
I'm
writing about
flattered,
his-
but also very embarrassed. No, I'm
Oh my god, how did that work? That's so crazy.
all my failed.
Yeah, I mean, I just like try it once I get on a topic, and once something's happening around me, I kind of just utilize that.
So you wrote it from your perspective about his relationship.
No, I wrote it. It's just kind of a general perspective.
Oh, okay.
I kind of took it more generally, but it is like it was specifically started
Oh,
by that.
by Ryan's.
Yeah, but it's. I guess it's kind of from Ryan's perspective, but it's pretty general. Like anyone could read into it. I think anyone could fit themselves into those
Yeah.
lyrics pretty
Yeah.
simply.
I'm not alone.
I mean, yeah. I feel like if you go into specifics on a love song, that's gonna get weird pretty quickly for the
I was
audience.
gonna say, all right, next
Yeah,
one.
next question. Yeah. Well, I think we should get back to the music personally. Who's with me?
sure.
What song do you guys want to play next?
What's on the list to play next?
What is on the list? You guys just played Straight Lines. The list is all over the place. You could play High or Dreamin'. High and Dreamin' are the two songs.
Cool.
Next.
We'll do Dreamin', and then we'll end with High, I think.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
We take our lumps and twos, we walk away unbruised. Somehow we always knew we had ourselves to prove. We step out of the I go.